So today we'll be talking a bit about one of the very profound epics of India, that is Yog Vashishta MahaRamayan. So we had touched briefly a few weeks back on that, but then Prerna ji gave that prerna that why don't we just do a formal introduction to that epic, because not many people have heard about it. And this is something very profound and very deep. Uh, and probably that is the reason that it is not that popular also. So we are all aware of Ramayan. We are all aware of Ramcharitmanas, and these are the stories or the life about Lord Ram. And these are very popular. We have grown up with all these stories. But today, what we will do is that we'll try to understand what this Yog Vashishta Maharamayan is, and what role it played to make Ram what Ram we see today, or what. So that is what we will be going to talk about today. I have made a few slides, so let me share my screen. Is it visible? Yes?
Yes, very good. Very good.
Okay. Okay. So today, as we just talked about, we'll be talking about Shri Yog Vashishta Maharamayan. What we know is the Ramayan, but today this epic is known as a Maharamayan, and we'll see why it is. And the tagline I have put here is Ram se Ram tak. So from the Ram, how he actually became that Ram who became a god for us. So this is the brief context about this epic. Okay. So before I start talking about it, I'll start with the line from Guru Granth Sahib. Kaho Nanak sab teri vadayai, koi nao na jane mera. So whatever I'm speaking, nothing is mine. It is all the work of several sages, seers, and those liberated ones. This body which is talking today is just a medium of transmitting some of those words that we have heard and what I could understand about it. And with that, my apologies also in advance for, because these are such high words of, it's a very big topic. So apologies in advance for any misunderstanding or misinterpretation of the words or their meaning. So that is my humble starting for today. Okay, so just first to get a brief introduction about the epic. So this was written by Valmiki. So Valmiki ji has written the Ramayana also, which has become very popular. And Valmiki has written MahaRamayan also, which somehow is not very popular. And it is also known by several other names like MahaRamayan, Vashishta Ramayan, Uttar Ramayan, and few more names. So the Ramayan is already in probably more than 300 translations and 300 different types of versions. But this one is not that popular. So, but it is again a very intense scripture that covers a lot about the Indian philosophical wisdom in great depth. And the reason of it not being that popular as compared to Ramayan or Ramcharitmanas is that Ramayan or Ramcharitmanas jo hai, they are focusing on the outer or the gross form of Ram, what we see. See, we have always been seeing Ram as, whenever we refer to Ram, we refer, probably our first attention goes towards Lord Ram, Bhagwan Ram. Whereas Tulsidas also did a very nice bifurcation of 4 different types of Rams. And the Ram that we always talk or think of and that we read in the stories is the first level of Ram, that is the son of King Dashrath. Correct? So that is where we are always confined to and stuck to, because that's the way probably our upbringing has been. That's the way those stories have been. See, stories are not a problem. The stories are always a start point for anything. But then beyond, we have to go beyond the stories. So we are entrapped more in stories about Ram, about Krishna, about any of these figures. But then we do not see that what is behind those stories, or what were they, that we need to get to that state. So that part gets missed. Correct? And this, when we are talking of Yoga Vashishta Maharamayan, it is that topic, it is that scripture that made Ram what Ram was. Okay, again continuing a bit about the introduction. So when we say Ramayan, it is it is a combination of two words, Ram plus Ayan. Ayan is a Sanskrit word that means journey. So when we say Ramayan, it actually means the journey of Ram. The journey of Ram that we are most familiar with. We have seen Ram Leelas, we have seen a lot of plays, we have seen TV serials. They are all the external journey of Ram. Correct? That is all the external journey of Ram. But then how Ram got to that state? Yog Vashisht Maharamayan is about that, and that is why it is called MahaRamayan. Maha means a bigger, word one. Like even if we talk about Bhagavad Gita, then many of our saints talk about Ashtavakra Gita also, and they refer to Ashtavakra Gita as the Mahagita. Means it is something even more philosophical, more intense, more pure, more direct. Not too much of worldly stories are there in it. That is why it is. And if we look at the now if we look at the magnitude of this whole Maharamayan, it is 29,000 verses. It's a huge. Oh, I forgot to pick up my book. I would have shown you. Probably I'll do it in between. But then it is a whole book that is of 29,000 verses, encapsulating the whole journey of how Ram got liberated. So Ram Mukt kaise hue? See, when we talk of this mukti or liberation, different saints have used different names to express that state. So in Yog Vashishta Maharamayan, this state is generally referred to as Jivan Mukta Dasha, means you are liberated from this life and the problems. So this is the most common word used in Maharamayan, Jivan Mukta Dasha. अब ये वही शब्द है जिसको कबीर ने सुरती कह दिया, कृष्ण ने भगवत गीता में स्थित प्रज्ञा कह दिया, महावीर ने कैवल्य कह दिया, और बुद्धा said nirvana. So these are the same states, same that enlightenment states, but different scriptures and different saints have used different names. So the more it is in Yoga Vashishta Maharamayan, this state is referred to as a Jivan Mukta Dasha. 29,000 verses. And this is an intense dialogue of Ram with his Guru Vashishta. So Guru Vashishta was the Guru Sadguru Guru of Ram, and this is a dialogue that happens between Ram and Guru Vashishta, and we'll see how it started, when it started, and it is in a way we are more familiar with Bhagavad Gita, so we can take an analogy of Bhagavad Gita, that is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjun, comprising of 700 verses. So in Bhagavad Gita we have got 700 shalok, but in Maharamayan 29,000 verses are there. So we can imagine how big, how holistic, how intense that conversation would have been, that made Ram what we see as Maryada Purushottam Ram. So huge Granth, 29,000 verses of the dialogue that happened between Guru Vashishta and Ram. Now, with this brief introduction, we get into some context, that how it happened, because this story we never come to know. So this is the story that we never come to know, that how it happened. and how what happened. So I also narrated probably in the form of a story only, and probably they will just enjoy it as a story. That so we had Ram and three siblings, so four of them, and they were all getting together. They were all growing up, and in India we had that culture ke the children were sent to Gurukul and all. So by the age of 12, Ram and all his three brothers, they had completed their basic education from two gurus. One was Guru Vashishta, so that was their spiritual teacher, and Guru Vishwamitra, who had made them expert with the weapons and archery and all those things. So he was the Vishwamitra. So now all these four brothers have completed their basic education, and they have come back from the from the Gurukul to their kingdom Ayodhya, and they are now, and Ram being the eldest more, one is learning, is sitting with his father trying to learn the skills of how to rule a country or a kingdom and all that. So he's into all that after completing his basic education. But at that point, Ram has some sort of imperceptible change having within him. Now he's unable to understand what is happening, बट उनको ये बड़ा एक बहुत अकेलापन, बड़ा वैराग्य, बहुत वैसा महसूस होता है. ही इज नॉट कंफर्टेबल with what all is happening around. Though he is there in the kingdom, he is sitting with his father in the court, he is trying to learn everything, पर वो उनको अंदर से कुछ कमी खलती है. He is not satisfied, he is not happy, and that is the time when Ram seeks permission from his father Dashrath that he wants to go on a pilgrimage tour along with his three brothers. So this part we never come to know in the normal Ramayana or the stories. And so Dashrath goes to Guru Vashisht and asks that this is now Ram wants to go on a pilgrimage tour. So what should we do? His state is not that healthy. And Guru Vashisht, their Guru is a Guru. So they can understand what might be going on. And so with his permission, Ram, along with his three brothers, they go on a pilgrimage tour, and that tour lasted for 9 months. And they went around. तो जैसे जैसे एक तरह से तीर्थ यात्रा पे वो चले गए, and they went to all different places, right up to Mansarovar and this and that. In the book, there is a lot of description of where all they went, but almost 9 months to a year. Some books say 1 year, but then around 9 months to 1 year, they went on this tour. And that was when Ram actually saw the miseries, and when Ram actually saw how the world works, how the things are working. Now we can correlate with this a bit with this on this with Buddha also. So Buddha was also kept into a lot of comfort. His father did not wanted to have him see any miseries of life and all that. And when he also went and he saw that people are suffering, people are old, people are dying, and then that question arose in him that will I also get old? Will I also be sick? Will I also die? And that was the start point of his vairagya. So similarly, Ram goes to this tour and sees a lot of things, and he comes back, and then the context continues. Now, after coming back, Ram is more into a delusion. He is more into a vairagya. He has seen a lot of things around the world, and he doesn't want to talk to anybody. This is very nicely explained in the book, actually, this MahaRamayan. So they take it as a story and describe it. So he does not want to enjoy any materialistic things. He doesn't want to live in the kingdom. He don't just wants to be alone. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. Even he doesn't eat also. He eats very less, and he's becoming more and more weak and weak day by day. And everybody starts worrying about it. That what's happening? He is the to be king, and what is his state? How will he manage the whole kingdom? So this is all what's happening in the background. And now this part we might have heard about because it is prominent in the Ramayana also, that Guru Vishwamitra comes to Dashrath and he says that he wants to take Ram and Lakshman to the jungles so that they can protect the sages from their sacrificial rituals from the demons, क्योंकि वो राक्षस लोग बहुत उनको तंग करते हैं, तो वो Vishwamitra comes to Dashrath to take Ram and Lakshman to protect them from all those demons. अब Dashrath knows what's happening to Ram, and so he gives lot of alternatives to Guru Vishwamitra. वो कहते हैं कि राम आजकल ठीक नहीं है, he is not keeping well, he is sick, he has become very weak, he won't be able to handle all this. Why don't you take my army? So he offers Guru Vishwamitra to take his big army to fight against those demons. But Vishwamitra doesn't agree to that. He says, I want Ram and Lakshman. Because see, it's all something pre-planned in the cosmic manner. And then Dashrath finally says that, okay, if you do not trust my army, I come along with you. I am an experienced fighter. I am the king. I am very well trained in all these, to handle all these situations. So I come along with you. But then still Vishwamitra doesn't agree to all those alternatives. And he gets very, very annoyed at Dashrath that I have come as a sage, as a saint. I have come to ask you something and you are not giving me something. Whereas Raghukul Reet is that you offer, you give. And that is the time when Guru Vashisht, so Vashisht is the Kul Guru. He is also present in the kingdom. So he intervenes and he says that, okay, let's summon Ram and understand from him. So now what happens is that a messenger is sent to bring Ram. And this is a story from that book I just copied to narrate that how this is actually what's the way it is. And then that the messenger comes and this is how it is written. लौट कर सेवक कहता है रामचंद्र तो एकांत कक्ष में बैठे हैं, like he is sitting in a secluded room. हास्य विनोद की वस्तुएं देने पर वो कहते हैं ये नश्वर वस्तुएं लेकर मुझे क्या करना है. And when we offer him anything of entertainment, anything of sensual pleasures, and Ram says that what I will do with all these are all impermanent things. And then Ram gives an example. जिस प्रकार एक मृग हरी भरी घास के आकर्षण में बह जाता है और शिकारी उसे मार डालता है, उसी प्रकार तुम लोग भी इन भोग पदार्थों में फंस जाते हो और असमय काल के गाल में समा जाते हो. And he gives an analogy that the way a deer gets attracted to the green grass and then the hunter kills that deer, in the same way all you people are also stuck into this maya, into this sensual pleasures, into this all this, and you are also getting into that same state. ऐसे भोग पदार्थ में मुझे समय नष्ट नहीं करना है. I don't want to waste my time on all these sensual things. अपितु मुझे आत्मत्व का अनुसंधान करना है. I want to explore my inner self. I want to explore the Atma. I want to explore what the truth is. So these are the words I just took from that book to give you a flavor that how this story goes. And when that sevak or the servant comes and tells this to all the people sitting in the court, then Guru Vishwamitra and Vashisht understand that this is not something normal. This is something very big that is going on inside Ram, and it is a sort of a deep vairagya. And so they call Ram and lead him to the journey of self-realization. And this discussion between Ram and Guru Vashisht lasted for 22 days. Like Bhagavad Gita lasted for 18 days. No, Bhagavad Gita lasted for just probably not even that entire fight of Kurukshetra lasted for 18 days. But the discussion between Krishna and Arjuna was not that long. It was a very brief one. But this one took 22 days. So this 22 days is an intense dialogue between between Guru Vashisht and Ram, where Ram is putting up all his questions, and Guru Vashisht is answering him all, giving him all the answers, making him understand what everything is. what this world is, what this human is, what soul is, what liberation is. All those questions he's answering him. So he's making him understand everything. Now, with this context, that how this story started, how how Yog Vashishta Maharamayan came. So we all have understood that Vishwamitra came and asked and took Ram and Lakshman to the jungle and all, and then Sita Swambar happened. But this part is never brought up in any of the normal Ramayans. And now let's get to with this context. Let's get to Yog Vashishta Maharamayan. I'll just talk about the outlay of how it is organized. We'll not get into the much detail, but today just being a start session. So this Yog Vashishta Maharamayan as a scripture, like we all know that in Bhagavad Gita we have got 18 adhyay, 18 chapters, correct? So 18 chapters are there. Similarly, in this there are 6 sections or big chapters which are known as prakarn. And in each prakarn there are different sargs, and in each sarg is a smaller sub chapter, and in each sarg there are those verses, dohas. So the first section is Vairagya Prakaran. So this is the Prakaran of dispassion. And this section introduces Ram's existential crisis, what he is going through, and highlighting the transient nature of life and human sufferings. And Ram asks a lot of questions. So this is the Vairagya Prakaran. Vairagya means dispassion. So Ram is telling about, he's telling that मुझे स्त्री का स्वरूप ऐसा लगता है, मुझे धन का स्वरूप ऐसा लगता है, मुझे जगत का स्वरूप ऐसा लगता है, मुझे भोग पदार्थों का स्वरूप. He is talking of everything that nothing interests me. I am so much into vairagya or this dispassion. So this vairagya prakaran tells about the Ram's state. And then the second prakaran or the second book is about Mumukshu Vyavhar Prakaran. Now, Mumukshu word is for is a seeker. That how the behavior of a seeker should be. Correct? So now from here, Guru Vashishta starts telling him what ought to be the qualities and what is required. And there is a big emphasis on self-effort. So they do not talk much about puja, part, this, that. They talk about self-effort and the desire. So this whole Mumukshu Vyavhar Prakaran focuses on the qualities that are required for spiritual liberation. So first is the Vairagya Prakaran. The second is the Mumukshu Vyavhar Prakaran. And then the dialogue goes on like between Arjuna and Krishna. The dialogue keeps on happening, adhyaya after adhyaya. So next comes the Utpatti Prakaran. That how this entire cosmology happened, how everything got into creation. So this is the whole creation, something like that Big Bang and the Vishwaswarup Darshan that Lord Krishna gave to Arjun. So this is similar to that. So here the Utpatti Prakaran, like how everything grows, how this world came into existence, and all those exploring the origin of universe, consciousness, and all those aspects. So this is the Utpatti Prakaran. So in a chronology, they are going like this. And then once this everything has created, now how does the nature exist? So that is the Sthiti Prakaran, where it talks about existence and settling down of that creation, that energy that has taken up so many forms, how that energy is being sustained, what is the free will, what is human how is human contributing to it. And in this there are a lot of stories that talk about all these concepts. So basically in these two, the whole discussion is about the Jagdish. So there are always, whenever we talk of Advait Vedanta, there is the Jeev, there is the Jagat, and then the Jagdish. So this is the Jagat, how that Jagat came into existence and how it is being managed. Correct? So these are the third and fourth Prakaran. And after all this happens, we come to the fifth one, that is Upshama Prakaran. That is a state of tranquility. And from here, the actual meditation starts happening, and how the dissolution, how that duality goes. We have always been talking about oneness in all our satsangs. So this is the point, like like Dhunanand, and talked a lot about oneness. And also here also, this section is talking about how to, what is that oneness, and how a seeker can get towards that inner peace, towards that Sat Chit Anand that we actually are, and how we get into that oneness. And then after we have after all that, through that meditation practices and all, then finally how we get to the nirvana prakaran, that is the liberation. So liberation is this is the final state of enlightenment that Ram achieved at that time. And this offers a lot of insights into what he felt, how he felt, and what is the nature of ultimate reality and all. So this talks about all that nirvana prakaran. So just to go over once, so it starts with the vairagya prakaran, the dispassion. Then it goes to the mumukshu vyavhar prakaran, that what should be the behavior and the qualities and the efforts a seeker has to put in. Then it talks about those the creation, the entire creation, how it got created, how it is being sustained, how it goes away and all. And then finally the upsham means like to settle down. Upsham is like to cool it down. So from here, the actual meditation and all practices start, like how we can get out of duality, how we can reach to that oneness, and finally the nirvana, which is the final liberation state, or the jivan mukta dasha. So we had talked about that jivan mukta dasha. So this is the final one, is that jivan mukt, where Ram is now has reached that stage. And then he's talking about his experiences and all that, what he has understood, how he has felt, how his experience is, how he now sees the things. Earlier he had all the dispassion ke about istri ka saroop, dhan ka saroop. He was against everything, but now he says that no, everything is there. It's all oneness, and this is the and he looks at all those things with a very very different perspective, with all these learnings. So these are the six prakarans that are there in the Yog Vashishta Maharamayan. And finally, what is the result? So after all this 22 days of discussion, that intense discourse, जो भी ज्ञान चर्चा हुई, उसका रिजल्ट क्या आया? कि कहाँ तो Ram was so dispassionate, he was not eating, he wanted to just quit and all that. But if after all this, result is Ram goes to the forest to kill demons. हम लोगों को नॉर्मल रामायण में यहीं से बताया जाता है कि राम और लक्ष्मण वन में चले गए और उन्होंने सब राक्षसों को मारा. बट ये बीच का सब योग वशिष्ठ वाला मिस होता है, बिकॉज इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस रामायण. So he was so much against like Istri, woman, and all that. But still, now Ram marries Sita. Immediately after this, he goes to the forest also. He marries Sita. Ram is ready to be a king, and in one moment he happily moves towards exile. Now see the twist that happens. He's just at the point of becoming the king, and within few hours of becoming that king, he so effortlessly moves towards exile. So that is a big thing. And there Ram again faces a lot of challenges, fights, wars, kills Ravana and all, and Ram is back after all that, and life goes on. So this is what all happens after Ram has reached that Jivan Mukt state. We normally know about all these things, but then Yog Vashishta Maharamayan is something that tells us that how Ram got to all these things, how he got to that state of liberation. वो जीवन मुक्त कैसे हुए? And so and and after that we know Ram as Purushottam Ram, Jivan Mukt Ram, but what made him get to that state is the Yog Vashishta Maharamayan. So this is what this epic scripture tells us. I was I just came across this Shabad also from Gurbani, Guru Amar Das जी का है. राम राम करता सब जग फिरे, राम ना पाया जाए. Now we can probably understand that when we are saying राम राम करता सब जग फिरे, राम ना पाया जाए. So what Guru is talking about is that Ram, that Jivan Mukt state. It is not about the Dashrath Putra Ram. Normally we always consider, most of the time many of us consider that Ram, okay, just by See all that personifying that figure, going down to all that is yes the start point. But then the end point today, what we have understood is that Jivan Mukt Sthiti, that state of liberation that we have to get into. And this Shabad talks about Ram Ram Karta Sab Jag Fire, Ram Na Paya Jaye. So that state we are unable to get to. And in the one of the next lines, it says, Guru ke Shabad Bhediye in Bhid Vasya Man Aaye. And Guru is the one who pierces that words into us. Guru. तो उधर भी जो बात हुई गुरु वशिष्ठ की हुई, उधर बात हुई गुरु कृष्ण की हुई, इधर नानक की बात हुई, सबकी बात हुई. तो यहाँ पे यही लिखा है कि गुरु के शब्द. So the wisdom from the Guru is one that pierces through us, and then Ram comes into our hearts. Vasiya man aaye. So that is the final thing that Yog Vashishta MahaRamayan talks about. And that I just wrote that let us now invoke the Ram within. So probably that should be our objective. Listening to stories, seeing the Ramayana, seeing the serials. Yes, that is a start point, just to understand what that figure was. But then उनके अंदर क्या चलता था? What was going within Ram? What was that state of Ram? That is what we need to talk about. We get to. And not only Ram. This is the same for Ram or Krishna or Nanak or Kabir or Buddha or Mahavir or Sajo or Mira. All of these were into this state only. And that is what this Yog Vashishta MahaRamayan talks about.
This was absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. My request to you is that if we can do this six chapter by chapter, and it would be wonderful. It would be absolutely wonderful to do this chapter by chapter, with dispassion. And the words that came up for me, we talked about Jivan Mukat, right?
Jivan
And
Mukti, yes.
Jivan Mukat. So let's look at what Guru Arjan says in Sukhmani. प्रभु की आज्ञा आत्म हितावे. You all can see my screen, I hope. प्रभु
Yes.
की आज्ञा आत्म हितावे, जीवन मुकत सो कहावे. You can see the translations too. तैसा हरख तैसा उस सोग, सदा आनंद तै नाही वियोग. तैसा सुवरन तैसी उस माटी, तैसा अमृत तैसी बिक खाटी. तैसा मान तैसा अभिमान, तैसा रंग तैसा राजान. जो वर्ताए साई जुगत, नानक ओ पुरख कहिए जीवन मुकत. These are my favorite lines about Jivan Mukti. This topic has been very dear to me. And when you talk to me, when you mentioned Yog Vasishta, since then I have been myself researching and reading a lot about it. And I really just got this thought that maybe you should take us on this journey. And I'm so glad the Guru planted it in my mind, and you are that instrument. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I am just blown away, and I request you once a month, we just touch even 15-20 minutes of those different states, the 6 states, and you can give us books that could help us understand further. So that would be a huge seva, I think, for the community. So
Yeah, sure,
really,
sure, sure. We can
gratitude,
definitely.
gratitude. And Sad Sangat ji, this thought came to me last night. As I was sitting in my meditation, this thought came to me. I just sent him a message, and Bharat ji has prepared this in a few hours today morning. So thank you. Thank you
all
so much.
all his grace, all your prerana, Prerna ji's prerna and all his grace. Like I said in the first slide itself, that it is all just nothing is mine.
It's just beautiful. So, Sangatji, whoever wants to ask some questions or reflections, I've given mine because I love this concept of Jivan Mukat. This is something as a child I would be sitting in meditation and I would be wondering कि क्या है जिंदगी, and it's taken me about 60 years to get to this understanding, or maybe scratch the tip of the iceberg. So
Yeah.
I wish I had a guru like Vashishta then, when I was 4, 5 years old. So thank you so much. Who
In
would
fact, in
like?
fact, in fact, in fact, when I came across all this and when I spent some time on it, so I was also wondering why we are all taught about the external stories of Ram. We talk about Ram, all that, but then we miss the point that what made Ram what Ram was, and this is the scripture, and we saw 29,000 verses, 22 days of intense dialogue between the guru and the disciple, and few other people were also there, but then such a profound thing came out.
It's beautiful. So this was just absolutely, I'm just in awe and wonder. It's a Vahguru moment for me.